Welcome, everyone, to the Be Awesome Network. I'm Lori, and I'm so excited today to be having Martha Rice here in the network because, Martha, you have been a staple here. You have been here since almost the very, very beginning, and you're a founder in the Be Awesome Network. And now you have your own network and you're establishing your own community. So I want to bring you on and let you share about that and let people hear from you live. They get to hear your podcast every single Monday at 8 a.m. and Central. And that's been so great because we get a new topic every week and we get to learn from you and your guests. So I'm just gonna just kind of take it away, Martha. Let's hear what you've been up to because it's a lot, right?
It's a lot, Lori. Thank you so much for having me today. And to the listeners, I love doing what I do. I am passionate about bridging the gap where I love connecting people, like-minded people, and I love connecting people. I love helping people. And so what I've been up to lately, I'm still growing the podcast. I am on monetization in a different way. So Podmatch is what I use. And I love about Podmatch, and I'll put the information in it, is that they actually do all the work for me as far as they do all of the forms, they do all the, what do you call that? They do all the back end work. All you have to do is choose your match. And once you choose your match, they set up the interview in your portal and on your calendar. It's just so easy. And so I don't have to go looking for guests. So I'm booked up because of that. I'm booked up. I book up really quick. So it's really nice. And you get paid to interview people. And it's so cool. So check it out. I would say check it out. Also, every Monday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, I do my podcast. I would love for you guys to subscribe. People do not subscribe or follow. I am on Facebook, but where I want you to subscribe is YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. That way you'll get an alert. Also, you can watch it on the Be Awesome Network, and you can follow it on Spotify or Apple. So I would love for you guys to do that. And that is casting the net. I will put that information in the video as well. And then based off of Lori's energy and encouragement and being a part of her group has been phenomenal for me because it just pushed me out there more and encouraged me to, when you're in a community and you connect with others, they help you grow. And so, with the help of her and Amos, I was able to finally start my Facebook community called the Relationship Reset Network. That is truly a passion for me. I'm gonna tell you why. And the reason why I say relationship with God, self, and others, as you will see, is because a lot of people, based off a belief system, usually get into trouble with false information. And what you believe will it will cause you to walk in a different direction, or it does empower your trajectory. So I really want people to understand that it's passionate for me when it comes to, I'm not religious at all.
Right.
It's really about what you believe about God is important, because if you believe he is such a mean man sitting on the throne, you have a different you actually walk in performance, and you never feel like you meet the standard. But if you see him as a loving God who cares so much about you and want a relationship with you, he's the creator who created you and know every hair on your head, the number of hairs on your head, wants a relationship with you, then you are more grateful. And when you're grateful, you're less judgy when it comes to other people. and you're more collaborative, and you want to tell people about him because you're like, oh my God, I feel his love. You have to foster that relationship. And so I'm passionate about it because I was going the wrong way based off of false information that was given to me. And I was so busy performing for God that I never felt enough and judged by the religious sector because I wasn't up to their standard. But when you really, really love, when you really truly understand the love of God, you really get a chance to see how it changes the trajectory of your life. And then when it comes to self, a lot of people get in relationships and that's friendships, communities, even relationship with yourself. And I've experienced it firsthand where you're in a relationship and you wonder why the relationship didn't work. But you get the same characteristics of the person when you go back out there because you never did the work
Yeah.
to find out how do I connect with me. Most people in terrible relationships, and the reason why I'm the scapegoat for it. I am the you see me in a dictionary now. Um, but when you truly understand yourself, a lot of people get in trouble when they get in relationships and they actually conform to the relationship to keep it versus understanding that this is not part of my core values. You start to compromise and you start to lose yourself. You ever been in a relationship where you lost yourself in it and you're like, oh my God, I lost myself. You lost yourself because you're trying to conform to something that's not part of your agreement and you're not in alignment with yourself. When you're not aligned with yourself, you start to lose yourself and then you don't know who you are. But you're in such a trench that you start to go and you want to replace the dysfunction, not knowing that you're doing that. And that's what I want to help people do as well, is to get connected with yourself. Because how I know I'm not connected with myself, listen to your body. My body tells me when something is wrong. When someone say, Martha, I need you to do something, and I feel overwhelmed, that lets me know I shouldn't be doing it. I had to learn that, but I wasn't in agreement with myself at first. So I was like yes to everything. No is my new partner. And so so I have to some things I just have to say no to. And all of the things that my body was showing me was letting me know how I was operating in people pleasing, self-abandonment, all of these things that was stopping me from having a relationship with myself. But it also, when you can't have a relationship with yourself, it affects all the other relationships in your life. And so and then relationship with others has everything to do with how you go into a community. Are you going into a community, where it's all about you, or are you going in the community to work with the community and you have to be aligned with the community or else it'll look like a cult to you if you're not careful. And so it's really helping people to do that. And so I invite guests on so that they can actually, guests that has, coaches, anybody that want to talk about their business to come on and talk about what you do. And if it aligns with the relationship with self, God, self, and others, we can chat and you could be a part of that movement because being a part of that movement, what my vision is for after the group grows to do workshops, to do round tables. But the biggest thing I'm excited about doing that I'm working on now is to have people call in and ask questions on the subject that we have. So I'm gonna have an expert with me. I'm not gonna be the only one on there. And you just call in and ask questions and get the help you need because sometimes you can't get to a therapist right away, but at least we can help you until you get that help. And so it's really getting people connected with others so that they can get the help they need as well. Because sometimes I may not be the person you need to talk to. You may talk to the expert on it. And so now that person can really help you. And so it's really doing that in the group. And that's my mission is to get people the help they need for the future.
I love that. I mean, I just feel like I was nodding my head the whole time because these things that you're talking about are things that I've actually learned in the last, I don't know, year and a half since I started the Be Awesome Network. I mean, there's nothing like kind of putting yourself out there and doing something uncomfortable to help you grow. But
Exactly.
I came out of a bad experience, a bad relationship, and I was not treating myself well. So everything you just said applies to me, and I know it applies to so many other people out there. So I love that you created a whole network around that concept, and that you're, like you said, having people come on and share how they see what you're talking about, how they see God, self, others. And yeah, and then also your podcast, just having those experts on. And I love the idea of calling in live, right?
That's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so cool because we get to share our experience. I have so many experience in all these areas that I bombed out in. Like I remember going into a church community and following my emotions and joining that community because I was following my emotions. And I really thought that this was the community. But after joining, I joined really quick. I started to like I was trying to connect and couldn't. It was the weirdest thing. How could you not connect with people of God? It was the weirdest thing. Could not connect. They could not connect with me. And it wasn't like they were bad people. It's just that it was just interesting because we were not aligned. And I didn't know that we wasn't aligned. Um, and it was basically women in leadership wasn't their thing. And that was the biggest thing, the biggest hurdle. And so, and when I say leadership, it's like me being on the internet and all of that. It just rubbed them the wrong way. But I couldn't connect with them and I couldn't figure out why. That can be if I wasn't mature in my walk, in my relationship with God, that would have really kind of me in a position to be church hurt. But I understood that it wasn't them. It was the fact that I should have gotten to know the community first. That is my greatest advice when you join in community, when you join in with others, business, find out if you align. Because when you start to get that turbulence, in what someone believes versus what you believe, that's your body saying we're not aligned. And sometimes we don't know what to do with that. We either comply or we move away. But we need to pay attention to it and research it
Yeah.
and not push it to the side because that's part of getting to know ourselves so that we can be in a healthy relationship with any community we step in. We have to do that. And I had to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
and not play the victim because I said, what is my part in this? My part was you joined too quick and you didn't even know them. And that was a red flag for them because they're like, how did she just join like this? So it made them uncomfortable, probably. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But it's very important to vet the group that you're going to join because what if it's totally against everything you believe?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, and that applies to so many areas where I can just see myself jumping into things too quickly, whether it's going to be a relationship or a friendship or a job, or, there's so many things that if we jump too fast, just based on either fear, like, oh my gosh, I've got to get involved in this because if I don't, I'm going to
Yes.
be left
What they
out
call
or
it, fear of
alone.
missing out.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a time and a place for jumping in and moving quickly. We can't always, go super slow or we'll miss the boat, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, I totally agree. I think it's so important to listen to your, like you said, not emotions in the very beginning, but your feelings within your body and that
Hmm.
intuition that you feel that like this probably isn't a good fit. I love what you said about aligned And I know you're a big neuroscience geek because you're all about mental health, and that's such a big thing now.
Alignment is huge. Oh my God, it's huge. And even if you get it, entrepreneurs, as entrepreneurs, we are risk takers. Let's just tell it like it is. And so when we see a good thing that's missing in our business, we will jump on board. But that's when you say some things you have to go for right away. But some things you have to, but when you're in it and you realize, oh, this is not this is not for me, and this is not something that I should have stepped in, don't talk about the group because the group did nothing to you. You just moved into a group that's not aligned with you. So you politely get out. That don't mean the group is bad. Like I said, the church wasn't bad. It was me stepping into a place where that I didn't vet properly.
Yeah, yeah. And if I remember right, you said that you jumped in and you were like you're having these like doubts and it just wasn't working, and you were trying to figure out how to work it out. And I can definitely identify with that. And I know people who are listening and watching can identify with that. So you either, like you said, people please,
Mhm.
or you change yourself, right? You change yourself to fit the
I
situation.
did all the things to try to fit in, and it was like, whoa, is nothing is working. What is happening? And so I had to go back to God and say, wait a minute, what's happening? And I had to learn that, God did send me there for one thing,
Mhm.
and I did the one thing,
Yeah.
but I confused the one thing with eternal, where it was just that one thing. I just sent you to do that one thing. It was powerful. And it was so powerful that I thought, oh, I need to be here then. But no, that's not. And especially when you're joining a church organization, be aligned because you're touching and agreeing with the policies, with the beliefs, with all of those things. And when you touch and agree with that, you you are part of that. You're accountable. And you're sowing into something that you may not agree with. So you really want to make sure that you properly vet. And I'm not saying look for perfection. I'm talking about non-negotiables. There's non-negotiables. Like when you go into relationships, there's no perfect relationship, but there are non-negotiables where you like, I don't want anyone with, I don't want anyone to be married before because I've never been married. These are non-negotiables for you.
Right.
But there may be, well, the person don't eat the same thing you eat. That's something you may negotiate on, right? So you really want to make sure that you aligned in a way of your core values.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the key.
So important. Yeah. I love this conversation. I love to hear that you're doing some new things, and I love the fact that you're here in the Be Awesome Network as not only a winner circle member and a leader here, broadcasting your own events and podcasts and being a part of all of the trainings here that we provide, but I love that you have your own network and, relationship reset. That can be relationship with yourself, like you said. It can be relationship with God. It can be relationship with others. It can be all three. And so I would just love it if you would share with everyone in the network, how can they get involved in your relationship reset network?
You just reach out to me if you want to just reach out. You can DM me or reach out to me if you want to be interviewed and you want to be a part of the network where we helping people. That's what we're doing. We're helping people with relationships. So if you passionate about relationships or you've been through relationship troubles, you may want to check this group out. I promise you, we're gonna really do some heavy lifting pretty soon, and it's gonna be so much fun. But it's gonna be it's a group that I want to be safe because we all mess up relationships. We all damage things, but the damage shows we need to pay attention to what's going on and how we're moving in life. It doesn't disqualify you for who you are. It's just saying, hey, pay attention to this. This didn't get messed up because you're a bad person. It got messed up because there's something that you're missing in your character that needs to be well defined. But it doesn't dismiss you from being who you are. It's not who you are, it's what you're doing. And so we want to definitely differentiate that. But please reach out and let me know you want to be interviewed, and I would love to interview you in the group.
I love that. I love that. And so if you're listening or watching right now and you haven't been interviewed by Martha yet, then she's tagged in this post. And so you can hover over her name and message her directly. She's going to be watching her friend requests and her those hidden messages in Messenger that get lost, right?
Yes.
So she's going to pay attention to that and respond. And I'm really happy for you, Martha. I'm so glad to be a part of your life and your business and be in this working relationship where we share people. You're such a connector. You've connected me to so many awesome people. And so I want to do you a favor and connect my whole network with you. So please, if you're watching right now and you want to talk about, you don't even have to be an expert, but you want to talk about relationships, you might have a business that has something to do with either God, self, or others, and you want to connect with Martha, then please do, because it's important to get yourself in different spaces and places that you align with. And if you align with what we've been talking about today, and I'm just going to shout out to, I believe this is Yui. Or I don't know. Forgive me for not knowing how to pronounce your name. One of the great things about this network and Martha's network is that it's international. So I'm from
That's
America.
amazing.
I'm like, I'm from America. Please don't judge me for not knowing how to pronounce some of these names. I'm also from the South. So there's Americans from the North and the South and the East and the West. And so, yeah, we say things differently, but I'm just glad you guys are here. I'm glad you're listening, watching, participating. So, Martha, is there anything else you want to mention before we end our time together?
I would say don't underestimate the power of relationships when it comes to God, self, and others in the business world, in entrepreneurship. This apply to any, you could be a person who sell clothing. You can do an interview on my network because guess what? You are always encountering people.
Yeah.
And it has everything to do with showing that what you do through how you relate to others. So don't disqualify yourself because it's not a marriage or a boyfriend, girlfriend, or a God, or oh my gosh, she too religious. No, I'm not. Or others, it doesn't matter. You are always doing something relational. So don't underestimate that part.
Yeah, oh, I love that. I love that so much. So thank you for that. And I'm so happy that your group is focused on relationships and how we just defined it, how you just defined it, how we just talked about it. And if you're just tuning in, go ahead and hit the play button, rewatch, because Martha does an amazing job of explaining all of this in a very short time. And so if you want more of that, then please hop on over to the Relationship Reset Network here on Facebook. You can search it, you can message Martha, and then, of course, we're going to add some more details after we're live. But thank you so much, Martha, for being here and being a
Thank you for
part.
having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm just excited. I know you've been a busy bee getting all the things launched. So I'm just excited to reconnect with you too, just one-on-one. So I appreciate you and love what you do and support you all the way. So thank
Me
you.
too. Love what you do as well. Thank God for your group. I've learned so much. So thank you so much. It's so nice to be a part of it, the Be Awesome Network.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Well, and that I believe it's good. It's easy to say that we're aligned, right?
And absolutely.
I love it. I love
Definitely. We are definitely aligned.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Martha, for being here. And again, check the comments or message Martha directly if you're interested in being interviewed, if you want to join her network and just watch and poke around and learn and grow. And then maybe when you're ready, you can interview. You can also be interviewed here. Don't forget that. And we just want to communicate to you. I think that it's safe to say that both Martha and I believe that you're awesome. And I also want to make sure that you know that. So if you ever don't feel awesome, come here and you'll hear that. And I'm just honored to be a part of this network. I did start it, but without you guys, it would be nothing. So thank you guys for being here. Please remember that you're awesome and that we can be awesome together. So thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you next time.